The first time he saw her, she was sitting by the fountain, lost in the soft hum of the city around her. Her hair glimmered with hints of silver, and her eyes held a quiet sadness that tugged at something deep within him. He couldn't explain why, but something about her presence made the air around him feel lighter. She looked up, catching his gaze, and offered a polite smile that hinted at both warmth and guarded distance. He walked closer, heart pounding, words caught in his throat. He had never believed in love at first sight, but that day, everything inside him whispered otherwise. Every laugh she shared with strangers, every delicate gesture, seemed like a melody meant only for him. Yet, when he finally spoke, the words came out clumsy, unsure, but full of honesty. She looked at him, tilting her head, and said softly, "You're sweet, but I'm far too old for someone like you." Those words stung, yet somehow, they ignited a fire he couldn't ignore. He didn't retreat. Instead, he began to notice her in small ways, leaving notes at the cafe she frequented, a single flower on the bench where she read, a gentle smile when their paths crossed. Every gesture was met with polite acknowledgement, never rejection, never encouragement either. He understood her hesitation. She had loved before, deeply, and life had left its scars, some too tender for anyone to approach. But he saw through the armor she wore, into the heart that still longed for connection, for trust, for love. He knew age was just a number, but scars, memories, and fears were real battles he had to respect. Yet, day by day, he persisted, proving that his intentions were genuine, unwavering, and patient. Each encounter was small, yet meaningful, slowly bridging the gap between guarded distance and cautious hope. He wasn't rushing her, he was walking beside her, letting time do its gentle work. His love wasn't loud or demanding, it was quiet, steady, and persistent. She began to notice him in ways she hadn't before, in the warmth of his gaze, the sincerity of his words, the way he listened as if her thoughts were treasures. One rainy evening, she found herself walking beside him, her umbrellas forgotten, sharing stories of childhood dreams and lost opportunities. She laughed, truly laughed, and realized she hadn't done so in years. There was something intoxicating about his presence, a feeling of safety and excitement all at once. Yet, old doubts surfaced, whispering that she was too much, too complicated, too old. He sensed it, and without judgment, simply reached for her hand. That small gesture, tender and unassuming, broke a part of the wall she had built around herself. She felt a warmth she hadn't felt in years, a reminder that love isn't about age, it's about connection, understanding, and acceptance. Days turned into weeks, and their bond grew quietly but steadily. He never pressured her, never demanded more than she could give, yet always showed up when it mattered. A lunch shared on a park bench, a spontaneous trip to the old bookshop she loved, a late-night conversation under a canopy of stars. They were ordinary moments, yet extraordinary in the depth they brought to her heart. He made her feel seen, not for the mistakes or regrets she carried, but for who she truly was inside. Slowly, the fear that had kept her at a distance began to fade. She found herself anticipating his presence, cherishing his words, yearning for the moments when he was near. The lines of age seemed to blur in those moments, replaced by laughter, shared dreams, and gentle intimacy. Yet, life's challenges never truly leave us untouched. A sudden illness struck her family, pulling her back into a world of responsibility, worry, and exhaustion. She withdrew, fearful that her struggles would burden him. He noticed her absence, the shadows under her eyes, the quiet that replaced her usual spark. Without hesitation, he stepped in, not to push, not to demand, but to offer support in every small way he could. Meals delivered, calls to check in, moments of quiet companionship, they reminded her that love is action, not just words. His unwavering commitment became her anchor, a reminder that true love does not falter in the face of hardship. One evening, as they sat quietly on her balcony, watching the sun dip below the horizon, she finally spoke. Her voice trembled with vulnerability she hadn't shared with anyone in years. "I was wrong about age. I thought it would be a wall between us, but you've shown me something I thought I'd lost forever: hope, trust, and love." He reached for her hand, eyes glistening, and said, "It's never about age. It's about hearts that refuse to give up on each other." Tears ran down her cheeks, not from sorrow, but from the relief and joy of being seen, understood, and cherished. In that moment, she realized that love, the kind he offered, was not something to measure or doubt, it was something to embrace, fully and fearlessly. Months passed, and their connection deepened into a love that was both comforting and exhilarating. They traveled together, explored old hobbies, and discovered new passions. He learned the art of patience from her, and she rediscovered the courage to dream alongside him. Friends and family noticed the transformation, the way she glowed with newfound confidence, the way he spoke of her with gentle admiration. They were living proof that love doesn't follow rules or timelines, it simply finds a way when hearts refuse to give up. Challenges arose, of course. Some whispered about the age difference, some questioned their intentions. But they faced it together, turning judgment into opportunity to teach resilience and faith. They found joy in proving that love's value is measured by devotion, not societal expectation. Every challenge overcame strengthened their bond, transforming doubts into mutual respect and admiration. The world outside might question, but inside their shared world, there was only understanding, laughter, and unwavering loyalty. Her confidence grew as she embraced the love she had once thought impossible. She started volunteering, helping others find hope in their struggles, inspired by the love that had changed her own life. He supported her every step, celebrating every small victory, holding her hand during every setback. Together, they became a living testament to the power of patience, dedication, and the courage to love without limits. One quiet evening, he took her to the fountain where they first met. The world was still, the city lights reflecting on the water like scattered stars. He knelt before her, holding a simple ring, his eyes shining with a promise that had only grown stronger over time. She laughed through tears, a sound of pure joy, and nodded before he even asked. Their love, once uncertain and cautious, now stood as a declaration of devotion, unshaken by age or circumstance. Marriage brought new joys, but also new lessons. They learned to navigate each other's quirks, the small annoyances, and the unexpected trials of life. But even in mundane moments, their love shone through, in shared coffee mornings, in quiet support during tough days, in laughter that echoed through their home. They discovered that love isn't just passion, it's partnership, compromise, and unwavering care for one another. Years later, sitting side by side on the same balcony, watching the sunset, they reflected on their journey. Every moment of doubt, every fear, every gentle act of love had led them here. She squeezed his hand, whispering, "I was scared of being too old for love, but you proved love has no age." He smiled, brushing a silver strand from her face, replying, "And you taught me that patience and hope can conquer any fear." In their eyes, the world saw not just a couple, but a story of resilience, courage, and the beauty of hearts that refused to give up. They became an inspiration to many, friends, family, even strangers who overheard their story. Love, they realized, was not about perfect timing but about unwavering commitment, gentle persistence, and deep empathy. Their journey was living proof that even when the world says, "Too late," the heart knows no boundaries. Age, fear, and doubt became irrelevant in the face of a love that refused to yield. She often told him, laughing softly, "You didn't just fall for me, you fought for me." And he would reply, "Because some things are worth every battle, and some hearts are worth every risk." Their love was neither flashy nor dramatic, but it was enduring, profound, and transformative. Every day together was a celebration of trust, respect, and the quiet joy of being truly known. Even when challenges arose, illness, family conflicts, financial worries, they faced them together, never letting fear or age dictate their choices. They leaned on each other, finding strength in vulnerability and courage in companionship. Every obstacle became a shared victory, every hardship a testament to their enduring love. Through it all, they held fast to the belief that true love does not give up. On a rainy afternoon, years later, she found herself holding a note he had left by her favorite chair. It read, simply, "I will always choose you, no matter what. Age, time, or distance cannot change that." Tears streamed down her face, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming gratitude of being loved so completely. She realized that their love story wasn't just theirs, it was a beacon for anyone who had ever doubted the possibility of lasting love. They often revisited the fountain where it all began, laughing at how hesitant she had been, how patient he had remained. They remembered the small gestures, the silent support, the gentle moments that had grown into a life together. Each memory became a thread in the tapestry of a love that had overcome fear, doubt, and the weight of the world's expectations. In the twilight of their lives, they found themselves surrounded by family, friends, and memories that told a story of resilience and unwavering devotion. Every wrinkle, every silver hair, every scar told a story of love that refused to surrender. They had built a life that was not just lived, but cherished, filled with moments that glimmered with joy, laughter, and profound connection. On the last night of their journey together, they held hands, gazing at the stars, hearts beating in quiet harmony. She whispered, "Thank you for never giving up on me." He smiled, eyes glistening, and said, "And thank you for letting me love you." In that moment, they understood the ultimate truth. Love is not bound by age, circumstance, or fear, it is boundless, patient, and eternal. Their story became legend among those who knew them, not for grandeur or wealth, but for the simple, unwavering devotion two hearts could hold. People spoke of them as proof that love, when nurtured with patience and sincerity, could overcome any obstacle. It was a story that inspired generations to believe in second chances, in the power of persistence, and in the beauty of true love that never gives up. Even decades later, when people sat by that fountain or walked past their old balcony, whispers of their love lingered in the air. Lovers held hands a little tighter, friends smiled a little brighter, and hearts dared to hope again. Their legacy was not just a life lived together but a love story that transcended time, proving that some hearts are simply destined to find each other and never let go. And so, in the quiet moments between sunsets and dawns, the world remembered them, not as young or old, not as perfect or flawless, but as two souls who refused to surrender to fear. Their love was a testament to patience, resilience, and the extraordinary power of a heart that never gives up. They showed that age is merely a number, and true love is timeless, infinite, and capable of transforming even the most guarded hearts.